Alright, so I'm going to start this off by letting you know that Quato has had a few tonight. But at any rate, this is a video response to a video that Lady Addis made back in December about self ownership and anarcho capitalism. And I actually really like Lady Addis's videos all the time. Very, very intelligent individual. Um, and I really respect Lady Addis's opinion. At any rate, I think that she's wrong about the whole self ownership concept. In the very beginning, Lady Addis talks about the whole thing of like, well, do you own your hand? Can you cut it off and sell it? Do you own your body? Do you own your mind? No, all of these things are yourself. Yourself is all of these attributes plus a little bit more. So what is it really that you're owning? And this to me is absolutely no different than any other ownership interest whatsoever, because it's like, oh, well, do you really own the spoon, or do you really only own a part of the spoon? The claim element, how you own something, is entirely subjectively ascertained. So, like, oh, fuck, I'm drunk. Um, I'm sorry, I had a fucking shitload of Maker's Mark and Heineken. At any rate, it's all subjectively ascertained as to what you own. Your claim has no intrinsic meaning to it. It has the strength of your claim is the strength of your. It's the amount of strength that your neighbors are willing to lend to it. Essentially, it's like your property claim is dependent upon other people defending your claim. That's all it comes down to. And if your self is you, all of your self-directed energy, your body, everything, I think that selling my hand does not mean selling my whole self. I could remove my hand from my body and sell it. I don't know who's going to want to buy just a hand. That's kind of messed up. But it's my claim element. If I decide to relinquish my claim to my hand, that doesn't mean I relinquish my claim to myself. I don't know if this is making any sense at all. But I don't think the concept of self ownership is broken in any way whatsoever. And I find it a little ridiculous that someone would say that they read Rothbard and roll their eyes. Like, I can understand having criticisms of Rothbard. Like, I don't agree with Rothbard on a lot of things. Like, I think natural law and natural rights are ridiculous. I don't think they exist. At all. But the guy was an absolute genius, and what he has to say about the importance of the private ownership of property is absolutely like 100% correct. He didn't there, had nothing wrong to say about the importance of the private ownership of property. Now, his whole method of determining which claims are legitimate versus which claims are illegitimate, I find to be incorrect. I am highly sympathetic to natural law and highly sympathetic to Rothbardian ethics, but there is no intrinsic value or no intrinsic meaning to any property claim uh, beyond the support that other people are willing to give to it. That's what determines whether something is yours, is whether or not people agree and recognize that it is yours to exercise authority over. So if my body, my mind, and my life, if all of that is contained within the self-ownership claim, if people recognize that those are explicitly mine to use, then I am a self-owning human being. I don't automatically own myself because I declare myself the owner of something. I think the world would be a much more peaceful place if people were to recognize claims of self ownership and to say that other people have an intrinsic right to their life, their body, their mind, all these things. Um, but there's nothing intrinsic there's no intrinsic meaning to it at all. That's what I'm getting at. But I don't think this concept of self ownership is broken in any way whatsoever. I think Murray Rothbard had so much good to say about market anarchism, anarcho capitalism, whatever you want to call it. The guy was an absolute creative genius, and genius is not a word I throw around lightly. I think it's a word that's tossed around so easily. But the two people I think I would consider uh, geniuses were Mises and Rothbard. A genius is someone whose creative energy is just boundless, and the sheer amount of writing that Rothbard did, and the quality of the writing and the depth of the writing, I think qualifies him as a genius, and he's fantastic. Murray's great, and you're right. Mises is great as well. I completely agree about everything you said about human action and about his laissez-faire liberalism. Mises was, and I know, but nobody can see what I'm doing, but he was this close to being an anarcho-capitalist. His whole issue with uh, the state relinquishing control over the social apparatus of force and coercion. Uh, it was a technical question for him. There's this great quote from liberalism where he talks about the right of self-determination and says, if it were possible to grant this right to the individual, then it would have to be given to them. And it was literally just a question of the technical ability of private institutions to accomplish that goal. He didn't think it was possible. He thought that a state was absolutely necessary to guarantee the right of self-determination. Um, I think he was wrong, as I think all market anarchists think he was probably wrong about this, but he was damn close. Damn close. Mises was really close to market anarchism. He was a laissez-faire liberalism through the eyes of Mises was a radical idea, and he's for any market anarchist, he's an important thing to read. But I don't think that anarcho-capitalism or Rothbardian anarcho-capitalism is childish in any way. I don't think it's uh, whatever you said about it. That was about it. You said you roll your eyes at Rothbard. I roll your eyes. I roll your eyes. I've had Maker's Mark. That's what I was saying. I roll my eyes at that because Rothbard was fantastic. Get your ass to Mars, start the reactor, and open your mind.